Hi, so I guess the question is, why are we here? So I thought about this question in a few different ways. You know, are we talking about why is there life on Earth? Why are there humans on Earth? Or why am I personally here and what is my job? So probably the most interesting thing would be, why am I here? And there's lots of different reasons, you know. I think your responsibility as a human is to ensure the survival of your species, of course. But, you know, not just that. Anyone can do that. But what are you going to do with it? How are you going to raise your children? Are you going to be raising kids that are good stewards of the environment? Are they going to be good people towards each other? Are they going to be, you know, spoiled brats or whatever? So, you know, obviously you want to raise your children the best you possibly can based on the values that you have. I personally think, you know, you need to be good to one another, help each other out, pick people up when they're down. You know, I mean, these are things that pretty much every mother tells their child. It's whether or not you live by that, and then you continue it on to your own child. So, you know, we're only here for a limited amount of time, 70, 80 years. Pretty lucky to make it 80 years or so. But it always reminds me of this thing I read many years ago. It was a philosophy of a civilization that I think most Americans would call a third world civilization, or a primitive civilization that we tend to look down our noses on. But I think a lot of their philosophies tend to be much simpler than ours and cut to the chase, and it's really resonated with me. And it says that humans are here. There's three phases to life on life. The first, obviously, is the physical. That's when we're here for our 70, 80 years or however long we are here. The second is after our body dies. You continue on as long as people remember you. So you are living through their memories and your stories. So that would be through your children, your friends, and whatnot. So you obviously want to leave some kind of legacy that way in the good deeds that you have done and those you have affected. And only when those people have died and your stories have then passed on to the ether or whatever, then do you pass on to the third phase, which is to, you know, wherever you believe, you know, whether it's heaven or wherever else that may be. And I think that's a really good way to kind of approach life. You know, your job while here on Earth physically is to make sure your legacy lives on as long as possible through your good deeds. And then eventually everyone ends up, you know, in the Netherland. So, you know, everyone needs a philosophy to follow, and that one's, I think, is a pretty good one, among other ones, but, you know, definitely makes you think about it.